Alright guys, so I wanted to show you some of the combos that you can run in your Mermail deck. As I was playing with them, I noticed that the interaction with Genex Undine and Nimble Angler is really ridiculous. You can make some really crazy two-card combos that really require no extra setup. They're not as strong, maybe they're not as strong as the other ones, maybe they are as the Mermail ones, but I thought they were really good and I wanted to just share them with you guys. So here we go. So we're gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna start with the Genex Undine just by himself. And it's really cool because he actually ends up giving you 5 link materials just by himself. It's ridiculous. So you summon the Undine, you're gonna send the Angler to the grave, and you're gonna add Genex Controller to your hand. The Angler is gonna trigger, and it's gonna get you a Beaver and a Sunfish. Now that you have all 3, you have a Fish, Aqua, and Beast, and they're all water. You can send them all to the graveyard, and you can summon Curious. I'm summoning it right there. When Curious is summoned, she lets you mill 1 more card from your deck to the graveyard, so I would mill another Angler. Well, Angler isn't once per turn, so that Angler trigger, that'll give you a Beaver and a Sunfish. Once you do that again. Now you can get rid of, you can make a ring to if you want, but instead, what you could do is you can make a Nightmare Goblin. Once you make the Nightmare Goblin, you can discard the controller you added to your hand to activate its effect. So out of that 1 card, you were able to get 5 link materials on the field, and you still technically haven't used your normal summon because Nightmare Goblin is going to give you an additional normal summon, which is wonderful. Alright, so we started with the Genex Undine. What do you do if you add 1 more card, like a Kyoto Waterfront? Well, this is awesome because you remember that other combo we had in the Mermail video? I needed to use my entire hand to get something with 2 negates on the board. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You could do it with 2 cards. And so what you do is you start with the Waterfront, summon the Genex Undine, and what you're going to do is you're going to send an Angler to the graveyard. The Angler, well, the Undine is going to the controller. Angler, summon Beaver and Sunfish, and now you can get all 3 to summon Curious, just like that. That gets your Kyoto Waterfront up to 3 counters. The Curious is going to send another Angler, and the Angler is going to send a Sunfish and a Beaver. Now you could mill 3 more cards from the. I'm just not going to do it just to not add any other variables, just so you can see exactly what you could do with what you have. Now that the Waterfront has 3 counters, you can add a Gamma Seal to your hand. Now what you could do is you can get rid of these 2 to summon a Nightmare Goblin. The Goblin needs to activate its effect. This time, instead of discarding the Genex Controller, we're going to discard the Gamma Seal. And you'll see why here in a little bit. I'll use my Goblin's second normal summon, and I'll summon the Genex Controller. It doesn't matter whichever point you put it on, because we're just going to link it away with the Curious, and we're going to summon our good old friend, Firewall Dragon. Firewall's going to trigger. He's going to add us the Gamma Seal that we just sent to the graveyard, and then we're just going to trade in the Nightmare Goblin for a Nightmare Mermaid, triggering the Firewall Dragon, and you'll be able to summon it just like that. So now, and of course this went to way more than enough counters, so now the Gamma Seal is going to have 2. If you want, you can trade these 2 into an IB, like this, and then if your opponent tries to destroy it after it's used 1 negate, the IB can go to the graveyard and fuel your Waterfront to give you 3 negates that turn, which is also great. And so now what we'll do is we'll start with the Undine, and we'll add another monster. We're going to add the Lacunga. And so now if you do both of them, what we'll do is we'll summon the Undine. Same thing, send the Angler, get the controller. Angler will give you Sunfish and Beaver. Get rid of all of them. Bring out the Curious. Curious is going to send Angler. Angler's going to get you Sunfish and Beaver again. And then these 2 guys are going to give you, not an or that, going to give you a Nightmare Goblin. Goblin's going to activate his effect, send the controller, and now you'll be able to summon Lacunga. And I guess I could summon Lacunga there. I'm going to just kind of wing it from here because I haven't done this combo in a while. And you're basically going to you're going to get rid of 1, 2, 3. So you're going to get 3 tokens on the field. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And so what that's going to do, that's going to let you go back into a firewall dragon. Then you'll be able to use this token. Well, you know what? Let's put the firewall dragon over here instead. There was a token right here. So we'll put the firewall dragon there because I want it to be next to Lacunga so that if I link away with it, I can still summon. We're going to get rid of another token. And we're going to put a link spider above the firewall dragon. That lets you get 2 cards back. You have the controller and a random card. So you'll do that. And now what you could do is you could link away with Lacunga and the token. And that'll get you something that points sideways and up. Let's see. Let's see. Well, you know what? We could do an Ib. And then we'll trigger Firewall to summon the Sunfish. We'll get rid of Ib and Sunfish to summon an Ningirsu. That'll summon our controller. And if you had another Link Spider, I don't have a Link Spider in my extra deck right now, so I'll just put a Link Karibo up here. You'd be able to summon another one there, so you can extra link your opponent that way. Obviously, Ningirsu doesn't have to be Ningirsu. It could be a Cerberus. It could be, anything like that, and that'll give protection to your extra link. But you did that extra link with 2 cards. You did it with Lacunga, and you did it with that the Genex Undine, which is wonderful. But those are the combos I wanted to show you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as I possibly can. I'm not sure if I want to run Mermails with Nimbles in them or a Nimble with Mermails in them. I don't know. Either way, you're in for some explosive plays. Thanks again.